Well, I went to Bethany, and it was in Yarmouth, Nova Scotia then, and they'd bought that big old sea captain's house, 3-story high, and well, the Bible College had started and it had operated in Woodstock for 2 or 3 years, and then they bought that building down there and they moved to Yarmouth, Nova Scotia, and I was there the first year, and things were a little on the rough side, you know. I mean, it wasn't a palace. We boys stayed up on the 3rd floor of that building, and in the wintertime it was cold up there, something awful. Anyway, after a while, Mr. Dunlop, he came to our rescue and he put in a stove up there for us. And they supplied the wood, but it was outdoors or in a woodshed out down there. We just sort of had an agreement among ourselves, and whenever we were down on the ground floor, we would bring up an armload of wood for the stove, and I remember one young fellow said he wasn't going to carry any wood, so anyway, we kept him warm all winter by our fire, even though he never contributed anything. Well, anyway, we were there for 3 years, and we graduated, and during that time they had an organization, I don't know exactly what they called it, but there was a fellow there, well, he was an older man, he was married, I guess he was taking classes, but somehow he was involved with sort of an outreach from the college, and he went around, found places out around where we could have services.
Now, who was that?
Well, that was, his last name was McCollum. Now, I don't know whether it was McCollum or McCall. It was one or the other. Okay. I can't think what his first name was now. But anyway, they appointed, well, there was only a few of us, 3 or 4 of us, I guess. But anyway, I was appointed for Short Beach, and that was kind of halfway between Yarmouth and Port Maitland, where Mum came from. And well, I guess anyway it was there where it wasn't there really. But anyway, Mum had come, she was working in Yarmouth, and she'd come into the college there, and I guess she had eyes for me. And anyway,
The first time you remember seeing her was in Short Beach then?
No, it was
At the college?
At Bethany, at the chapel there.
Mm-hmm.
She was working for some family in the downtown area. And she used to come there to the services, so anyway, that's how we saw each other and started going together, I don't know, sometime there.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, we graduated in 50, and we were married in 50. And I had gotten a call to Royalton Church, and Hollis Kimball had pastored up there. Royalton was one of the older churches in the then called Reformed Baptist movement, and this Hollis Kimball had started a new church at
At Bloomfield?
Bloomfield,
Uh-huh.
yes.
Okay.
And they'd built a new church there. And anyway, it had been in operation a year or two, I guess, when we went there.
Mhm.
So anyhow, we were there 4 years, and you were born there. We went there in 50, you were born in 54.
Yeah.
And also in 54, at the end of the year in June, we'd received a call to the Fort Fairfield Church, so after Beulah that year, we went to move to Fort Fairfield. And we were in Fort Fairfield for, I don't know whether it was 6 or 8 years.
I think it was 8 years.
8 years.
Well, it would have been from 54, yeah, to 62, and then you were in Fredericton from 62 to 66.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna